Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Recruitment Uncensored with me, Kate. I have the amazing Christina Robinson on with me today as my guest, who is MD of Green Umbrella Marketing. So give everyone a wave, Christina.
Hello.
Had the most amazing chat, by the way. The half an hour prep time that we're meant to have before the show went live went in a flash because we've just been connecting and talking about loads of different things. So that went really quick then, didn't it?
It is. Do you know, it does feel like we've kind of already done that. I said 30 minutes isn't long enough. It isn't
No.
long enough. But when you think we've already talked about so much already, and my concern right now is we're going to not talk about some of the stuff that we've just been saying we must talk about.
I know, right? I'm going to try and remember it, and I'll prompt us if we forget. But today's episode, I think, is really important because building your personal brand as a recruiter, I know I never really tapped into that. I never tapped into it when I was a recruiter. I wish I had. I'm seeing some people doing it, and they're doing a fantastic job, but there's not that many people. And I think we were talking about this before we went live. Nobody bloody listens to me when I'm training groups and talking about this. I think they just think I'm saying it for fun, but I wanted to get you on to talk about how to build your personal brand because I think this, especially at the moment when times are a bit, well, they're not tough, they're normal. This is something we can tap into. So, oh, Kim's on. Hi, Kim. Saying hello again. Kim tried to join as a guest before we went live, by the way, guys. She wanted
Yeah,
to get in amongst it.
we brought her up on the screen and she just disappeared, ran
She
away.
disappeared. I'll have to get her on as a guest on another episode. And hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's on as well. So let's get cracking, right? Because I know me and you could talk for Wales and England combined. So let's get the first question up. We know, right? Recruiters, we don't have enough time for our job, let alone, we're spinning plates, right? And I remember when I was a consultant, if somebody said to me, right, Kate, also do marketing on top, I would have been like, you bloody joking, I haven't got time. So how can recruiters make more time for marketing? Because it is really important.
Okay, so first of all, we can't make more time. The problem is not having enough time. The problem is how can we prioritize marketing? Because that we've all got 24 hours in a day. We spend that time doing the things that are priority to us. So there's basic survival. We need to be able to eat and sleep and crap and stuff. We make time for that. Doesn't matter how busy we are. Like no one's held it in for 3 days because they can't find this candidate for this
I
particular
do
role.
try. My toilet's only over there, and I'm not joking. I'm like, no, must hold it in a bit longer and get one more task done. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I get you. It's about
So
prioritizing.
it's about priority. It really, really is. But it's also about understanding that freaking everything is marketing. And this is, we've got this theme of personal brands around here as well. So yes, we need to spend time on social media and make sure we're leveraging that. So make sure you spend time on social media in a meaningful way, not just scrolling for the sake of scrolling. Not
Yeah.
scrolling with the mindset of, I haven't got time for this, because that in itself is wasting your time. If you're intentional, okay, I need to go and do this task now. Yes, it's a marketing task. I'm going to get it done. This is what I need to do. Bang, 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 and it's done. Then actually, a lot of people that use this, and I'm going to call it an excuse because that's what it is. I haven't got the time. It's because they don't enjoy marketing. And I get it. If you enjoyed marketing, you'd be a marketer. I get it. If you come to the energy you bring to something is kind of what you get. So if I
Yeah.
go into if I'm recruiting for the team and I go, no, I hate recruitment, I hate going through this process. Oh my God, these CVs, oh, it's such a drag. Then I'm sitting there looking at these CVs in low energy and it feels like it's taking forever. And then, of course, I'm naturally slower. So then I stop doing it because I go back to the marketing stuff that I love. And then I'm
Yeah,
just
the
in this
shiny fun
cycle.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can we prioritize it more, make it more fun, bring a better sense of energy to it, so that a more sort of positive intention to it, that in itself can actually really make difference. Focus on the outcome. What is, why are we doing this exercise in the first place? What's the outcome we're looking for? If we're more focused on that than actually the thing we need to do, then I
Yeah.
think the energy as well. So it is. It's understanding it's a freaking excuse, and what we really need to do is find a way to prioritize it. Find a way to protect part of your day. And it doesn't have to be a massive job. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to go and make myself I've got my special green tea now, right? So, you know,
You're making me want one. I love a green tea.
In your schedule, it might be, I'm going to go at 11 o'clock, I'm going to put the kettle on. And those 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whilst the kettle boils, I'm going to go through my feeds on LinkedIn and find something that I can engage in. And that's it. It's not like I need to carve out an hour to do all this stuff. It's like, no, actually, how can I build it into my day? So it's little bite-sized chunks. Because those incremental gains that you get from doing that, the results are just naturally coming in then. That's what consistency looks like.
That's probably my top excuse that I even use. Oh, I haven't got time. I haven't got time to do that. And actually, the reality is you make time for the things that matter, and it comes back to prioritization. But I like what you said, Dan, around making it fun. So I know for me, I do enjoy doing aspects of my marketing, but sometimes there's, like we were talking about, shinier things that attract my attention. So like be business development for me. So what I do sometimes to make it a priority is I'd be like, right, I'm going to go to Starbucks. Other coffee shops do exist, by the way, at whatever time to do pure, but I'm only allowed to do my marketing while I'm there. And the carrot that I dangle in front of me is a pumpkin spice latte or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to make it fun, like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'll go to Starbucks and do it. And then it becomes a priority, funnily enough.
Do you know what? I've literally, because I had to do something yesterday that is for me what marketing is for a lot of people. Just going to grab my little, right. So this, right, I used to have a shiny box, okay, which kind of sounds a bit naughty, I know. But I'd have like, I have these ideas, these things I want to do, projects I want to work. Oh my God, we should do this, we should do that. And you end up like surrounded by all this shiny shit, and then you're not actually getting the work done. So I'd write down the ideas, I put them in the box, and basically every time I did something that I didn't really want to do, my reward was I got to work on one of my shiny things. Well, this is like it's now a book, essentially. So in here are just like scruffy drawings and notes and where I've like little ideas that I've had that I really want to do. And I am currently working on this idea right now because I did that thing I didn't want to do yesterday.
Yeah.
So it is like, it might be a pumpkin spice latte. It might be spending time looking for the holiday. It might be working on
like almost a reward if I do this. But I think as well, actually, and you mentioned this just then, and this is how I say to a lot of people, this is how you can prioritize anything in your job as a recruiter. What's going to be the return from that? What's going to make you the most money? And we'll probably come to this a bit later on, but marketing has such a big return if you invest time in it. Kim's making me laugh on the chat. Kim said, please don't give me more of your ideas to work on. It cracks me up. It can, if you're thinking of that return, the result, okay, it might not be the most fun thing for you to do to put a post together, I don't know, for LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever it is you use, but what is the potential return on that? And that could be massive and actually end up saving you a lot of time later down the line.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, do you know, Kim's just put in, so for everyone that doesn't know, Kim is when I say she's my assistant, I hate it because it makes it sound like that's like probably 2% of the value that she has. Like, she's not just my assistant, she's so much more than that. So shout out to Kim, thank you, appreciate you. Kim's put in the comments, like, ask about a book going to be finished. So I started writing this book in January, it was top secret. Between Christmas and New Year, I wrote the whole book. When I then reviewed it, I decided it needed one more chapter, and I still haven't written it. Now, I hate writing. And I could say I haven't got time for it. I haven't got time to finish, but I haven't got time to write that last chapter. But it's also being a bit honest with yourself. Like, I don't enjoy doing it. Okay, how can I enjoy it? Yeah, So I was talking to someone else about this last night because funny enough, they'd asked me the same question. We'd started off talking about blogging because I don't enjoy writing at all. And yet I've been blogging every week since July 2014.
Oh,
Because
fair play.
last night I went and looked up the very first article I've written. So yeah, July 2014 was my first article. But even now, I still don't enjoy it. So I write those articles each week. I've got all week to write an article, and I literally write it in the final hour before it needs to be published. So I put all this pressure on myself to get it done, but then it's done.
Yeah,
So
I do that with my weekly email mailing. I send it to my virtual assistant to put it together, but I write the content. And that's something I don't enjoy doing. Again, it ties into marketing, but it's in my diary every Monday morning to just get it out of the way and get it done because it is a priority. It is important. Do I enjoy doing it? Not really, but it's a priority. So I make sure it's just done and out of the way on a Monday morning, so I don't have to think about it. It's out of the way. So yeah, I like that. It's actually it's not about time. It's actually about prioritizing.
yeah, it's prioritizing. Just be honest with yourself about why you're not doing it. If you're a business owner and it's your recruitment business and you're honest with yourself, and the fact is you just got zero enthusiasm around marketing, okay, we can do something about that. You get someone in, whether you hire someone, whether you outsource it, but that can be resolved. Stop using time as an excuse because we can't make you more time.
No. Well, this one I think is an important question I wanted to ask you because again, I think I know what you're going to say, and I tell people this all the time. They don't listen to me, and I know it's worked for me, but I wanted to talk about what content is getting the best results right now because I think that's where people again can make excuses and do things they feel safe and comfortable with, but actually we need to be open and honest about what actually is the content that's going to get you the results that make this whole time you're spending on it worthwhile in the first place.
So it is, the best content is it's a link to your website to that vacancy, and make sure you make sure you do about 10 of them every day. Just a little bit of text. You don't need an image. No, that's not what works.
I was just thinking, what?
What? This is what everyone's doing. This is what I'm seeing.
I know.
How many years? How many years have we been talking about this? How much? I remember being asked, because I get asked this question all the time, of course. And I remember at one point, video being really important, and me saying things like, video is the next thing. More platforms are going to be bringing video into the platform. We're really going to see it rise. If you want to be ahead of the curve, you need to be doing video. And then I remembered that changing to, if you're not doing video now, you're behind the curve. It's too late. Like, the only thing you can do is the best time to plant. When's the best time to plant a tree? 100 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Now. The thing is, when it comes to video, it should be so second nature to everyone at this point. And yet people still shy away from it. Okay, so we'll talk about that, but before we do,
really reluctant to do it because I mention it all the time. As soon as I bring it up to the consultants I'm with, why don't you talk about that amazing vacancy you've got over a video? And people are like, oh. And I think they've got in their head, but I don't have a film production and I don't have a studio. Have you seen half of my videos? Let me tell you now, there's no production behind that. I mean, look at me. I don't put any thought other than what I'm going to say in that moment into it. That's all you need, isn't it?
This is the thing. People think they need to be super scripted. No, the more scripted you are, the more you sound like a robot. Don't do that.
Yeah.
The benefit of video is that people connect with you as an individual. We all know people buy from people. Okay. And I'm like, every time I use that phrase, I'd like a little bit of me dies inside because it's such an overused phrase.
But it's true.
It is. We don't trust brands, we trust people. You go and let's say you're going shopping for a car and you go around a few different showrooms. Okay, guarantee you buy the car from the person that you really liked, that made you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, the car you didn't buy, you know, when you kind of like the first car you went, no, it's not that one. How much of it is actually to do with the way you were received in that car showroom, the way you were treated through the process? You know, it's
Yeah.
all a reflection of that brand, but it's coming from one individual. So, you know, I know we're going to talk. Personal brand is all about you projecting who you are, people connecting with that so that they want to work with you more. You know, you positioning yourself so that you're the right person, the only person that they trust with this thing. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. Video is the best way to communicate that. The other thing with video is that, so you think like the written word is something like 20-30% of our communication. Everything else, you know, the words we use are just a small part of it. Everything else is our tonality. It's the body language. It's the micro expressions. It's silly things like, even as we've been talking, we watch this back and we look at my eye movements, and now I'm like really trying not to look in any particular direction. But even your eye movements communicate whilst you're talking to someone. So I could have a script and I could be really enthusiastic, but then I'm just focusing so much. I need to look in the camera and I need to watch my script at the same time, and I become so
Too
focused on
distracting.
that that all the passion goes out of what I'm doing. No one's going to connect with that. What people connect with is human. A human is shaking a bit whilst they're you can't see me, shaking a bit whilst they're recording their video, tripping over their words, forgetting what they're saying, getting distracted by the pigeon on the balcony. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, that is human.
Yeah, and people connect. It's about building that connection almost before you even speak to somebody, and that is what people like, is when you're just real. And I'm not. We were talking. I've remembered something about, we were talking before we went live. I'm not in any way saying that I'm perfect at my own branding, right? Because I'm not. But I have invested in it since I set up my business. And we were talking about, I had a little bit of a like pinch me moment at the Recruitment Expo. This person might even be watching, my one fan out there. Somebody came up to me at the end of a talk and asked to have a photo with me because they've been watching my YouTube videos. But so for so long, they obviously felt so connected with me that they wanted to have a picture of me. Now, obviously, I kept my cool in the moment, but after the girl walked away, I was like, and that is because they've watched videos of me. So they felt so connected. You know, they've got to know me through them. I obviously edit my YouTube videos, but not heavily. Like, they're not scripted. It's just to cut out the gaps and, you know, make it a bit more streamlined. But yeah, people just want authenticity, don't they? They just want to see
This
who
is
you are.
And what I said to Kate when we were chatting before is like, it's when it happens in the freaking supermarket. That's when it's weird. When you're like, you know, getting your
Oh, I'll
pint of milk.
literally be like, I've made it.
But it's absolutely crazy. And when you use your personal brand well, people feel that you're approachable. You know, when
Yes.
you do it the right way, they feel you're approachable. So you are in that instance when you know, when they've had the bad day at work and they're like, that's it now, that I'm drawing the line, I need to find something else, I'm going to call Kate. They're not even thinking, I need to, you know, I need to find a new job, I better start doing some searches. It's like the logical next step is, I'll call Kate.
Yeah.
That's, from a recruitment perspective, that's what personal brands can do. And like I said, video is the way to create that. It really is. You can
Well, that.
hold, it's warts and all. It's warts and all. And I always say, your message is not as important as your insecurities. So you turn up on video, you've done your makeup, you haven't, doesn't matter. What you're saying is more important. You have, you know, you've not cut your hair, you know, you've not oiled your beard, whatever it might be. Like, I'm not looking my best today, not quite feeling it. Suck it up. Suck it up. Because it's going to take you a few minutes to record this video. You don't have to do 53 million takes. Just record the freaking video. Okay, it's not complicated. You hold the thing up, you press the red button, you talk, and you press the red button again. We don't need to complicate it. These devices are built in such a way now. Yes, we can buy a microphone and have our ring light and all that sort of stuff. Once you've got to a point you're doing a lot of this, yeah, absolutely invest in that. You know, I've got me mic here, my ring light's on. It's, you know, yeah, but I've been doing this stuff for a long time. To start off with, you don't need it. You just, all you need to do is to do it. And okay, the best recruiters I know are working on purpose. They feel this recruitment has a calling for them. Okay, it is they have purpose in what they're doing. So for me, I see recording those videos as almost, it's duty, right? It's your duty to get these videos done, to get that message out into the world so that you can help more people in the way you were supposed to help them. So actually not doing the video, you're freaking selfish. Get over yourself. Do it.
And I have to say, guys, like, going back to my YouTube channel, I'm not trying to self-promote here, but I still only do it on my phone.
It's your show, you can.
I know. But I don't have like a fancy setup. Like, it is very basic. But let's go on to the next question, because we've talked about videos being...
Can I just say though, really, really quickly, so this is the other issue when it comes to doing video, because you've just done it right there. We don't want to promote ourselves. So like it's your freaking show and you're apologising for talking about your YouTube channel. I'm like, seriously? But this
you know what, actually,
do this.
If you're watching, you better bloody sign up to my YouTube channel. Subscribe now. But
subscribe,
I get what you mean.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, watch all the videos.
Leave a review.
But what video obviously is content-wise extremely valuable, but there's going to be a lot of people watching that maybe haven't even started thinking about this. So where is the best place for people to start if they're like, right, I now want to build my personal brand? What do you recommend?
So I think I'd start by accepting you have one already. You just haven't leveraged it yet. So look, you've had a personal brand from the day you were born. It's being human. It's being who you are. What happens is people make the decision to leverage it. I've always been a little bit quirky. I'm going to say quirky. A lot of people go, I'm really quirky now. I've always been a little bit not quite the mainstream. Okay. That's part of who I am. Your personal brand is really identifying who are you, what do you stand for, and why. So if we know
showing the world that, then, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like, how can I evidence this? How can I put that out there? And it is, you do need to know what you stand. You need to understand what your values are, because then when you understand that and you understand that all your content is coming from that, then you can kind of go, yeah, well, I'm going to go on Kate's show because that's aligned. I know that our values are aligned. I might be asked on someone else's show and I'm like, yeah, actually, that's doesn't feel good. Because I know what I stand for. I know I know what I want to be. I know what I want to be known for.
Yeah. And
it is, if you're thinking in business, you would have your mission, your vision, you'd have your goals, your objectives. It's all exactly the same. There's just an element of introspection here. We've got to look inside ourselves and actually go, well, you know, who am I really?
And actually, that's probably a place that people wouldn't think that they'd need to start. They think, right, I guess I better put a plan together for my marketing, or do you know what I mean, like a spreadsheet. But actually, that's a really good point. Is it's taking the step back from that and thinking, right, well, what is my brand? Like like you said, who am I? Like, what do I stand for? And
you know, if you think about business brand, so you come up with an identity, a logo. You think about what colours you want to use, what shapes. You think about the tone you want to have, the kind of language that you'll use. You know, all of these things, it's exactly the same in personal brand. You know, the visual representation, that people in sort of like, oh, there's someone in green, Christina's here. You know, I get sent, someone goes out for a awards thing, and the next time they see me, they're like showing me photos of their phone. Oh, I went to this, and like, oh, I've got to show you, got to show you. And I think like something crazy's happened at this awards event, and it's them in a green dress. And it's I've got it, I felt like I was cheating on you with green, and it's things like that. But what do people know you for? What makes you memorable? If I mention Nike, you think of the tick. People mention Christina, they think about green, they think about marketing. When you know who you are, okay, when you know what your identity is, then you can start building on that. You can start investing in that more. And because it's from you, you can enjoy it more. When you enjoy it, it's easier to create the content. When you're...
Well, I was just going to say that when you know, you probably, and this will get easier as it goes along, but when you know, like you said, who you are and things like that, and what you're going to stand for, the posts are easier because it's easier for you to. You're not trying to be or manufacture anything. You're like, oh well, I've got an opinion on that, so I'll post about that day, and it just makes it does streamline it for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like I said, it is mission, vision, purpose, goals, objectives. It's all exactly the same. It's just we need to look inwardly to begin with. If you can, it's a hard thing to do. If you can come up with 3 words that are almost like 3 words you want to live and die by. So for me, it's marketing, mindset, and mischief. Like those are the 3 things I want to be known for. And that's why I have fun with my content, because that's the mischievous part of me playing out. Obviously, I love marketing. I've been doing it for so long. But again, in the conversation we were having before we went live on this, there's a lot of mindset stuff that I'm really, really engaged in and sharing. So those are the 3 things I stand for. When you know what you stand for, you can't get dragged off by the other stuff that's going to take you off path. Staying on path is where you get results.
Yeah. Well, I know you've got a top tip, which we're going to share in a second, but I just wanted to do a quick roundup of what's going to be happening on the next episode of Recruitment Uncensored. So it will be on the 15th of November. Normal time, 12:30, Wednesday as usual. I have got my own coach, Pete, personal trainer. He's an online fitness health coach. I've got him coming on as a guest. I'm really excited about this because we're going to be talking about how you can keep in shape, not just physically, but mentally, which is really important when you've got a busy life, a busy job, like we do in the recruitment world. But Phil has a very, very inspiring story. I find him inspirational. I'm not going to spoil it, but he's an amazing person. So I've got him on with me in a couple of weeks. So I will put the invites out and the event will be published next week, but definitely come along to that one. But coming back to you for your top tip, get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Stop talking about it and not doing it. I literally had a conversation with someone yesterday and I'm like, dude, seriously? Like the last 3-4 times we've spoken, you told me you're going to, like, you spend more time talking about the thing than actually doing the thing.
Which is, again, we go back to the first question, how can we make more time? Well, do it. It's the same thing, isn't it? You're actually wasting time by procrastinating around it.
Yeah, just make a decision and take action. It's every action matters. It does. I'm not suggesting that get out of your own way and suddenly launch a like what we're doing here or what I do with the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. It's all start a podcast. I'm not saying make a decision and go big. I'm saying make a decision, commit, and do the next logical step, and the next logical step after that, and keep going, because it's all incremental gains. Like I say, 2014, I wrote my first article. I've been asked to write an article by my boss at the time, and I'd was like, yeah, I'll do it, and did not want to do it. And it went on for months. I wrote this one article, 500-600 words, went to bed, and the next morning my LinkedIn connections had doubled. It's just absolutely crazy. So that was one article. I made a decision, I did it, and I got the results. I stopped making excuses about how I don't like writing. I stopped making excuses about I don't know what to write about. I just did it.
Yeah.
And now,
good advice. I know Kim's put it in the comments as well, but we have literally run out of time. In fact, we've gone over. I knew we would. So to everybody watching, connect with Christina. She has her own LinkedIn Live. Remind me what it's called again.
Yes, it's the Green Umbrella. Yeah, it's the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. So every Thursday at 12 o'clock. We're live on my LinkedIn profile, Facebook, and YouTube. And
so
we
connect with Christina, because she obviously it's all shared on her profiles, but I know she gives a lot. She's given enough value today, obviously, but connect and take note on her content as well. Watch a LinkedIn Live. You can watch this back if you want to watch it again as well. It's all streamed on YouTube. But if we've missed anyone's comments, I'll come back to them now when I go into the chat. But that is it for this week. Hopefully see you on the next one in a couple of weeks. But thank you so much for coming, Christina, and thank you for everybody for watching. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye now.